Oh, we are live! How are we, lads? Come on, the footy! The footy spot! Guys, subscribe to the channel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah! The Cowboys win it! Woo! Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm Nick from Australia. Welcome to the State of Origin Game 1 preview for Game 1 of the 2022 State of Origin series. And to help me preview Origin 1, it is the great all-out CHAMPA. CHAMPA, mate, we've got about 48 hours away, or we're about 48 hours away now from Origin 1. Mate, how keen are you?
I don't even think keen is the word to describe how excited I am. Origin 2022, it is going to be electric. I am so excited. Nick, thank you for having me on this preview. I hope that Origin can live up to the hype, and I'm sure it will. I'm just so excited. Go New South Wales. Come on.
Yeah, exactly right. Yes, go New South Wales. I am a Blues fan. Everyone always asks me the question, why do you go for the Cowboys if you're a Blues fan? It's like our old team, Origin teams, completely different. And
Exactly.
people say, why do you go for the Cowboys if you live in New South Wales? It's like, what? I can't grow up as a kid being in love with guys like Jonathan Thurston and Matty Bowen. I mean, Origin is different to what it is at club level. So it's
Exactly.
state versus state, mate versus mate. Origin is one of the biggest things in rugby league. It's the pinnacle of rugby league now. But mate, I'm really looking forward to Origin on Wednesday night. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait. We got a little bit to get through that we're going to be talking about. Some bad news though. Matt Thompson's going to be commentating Origin, so that sucks.
Hey, man, give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he can put on a good performance.
Fuck him. Fuck him. He's dog shit. He's dog shit.
We all wanted it to be Rabs, but his time has come.
Yeah, exactly right. And sometimes I wish Warren Smith or Andrew Voss could go to Channel 9 for one night only and do the commentary, because Matt Thompson is fucking shit.
All right.
And that other commentator, what's his name? Peter Pasoltas. He's even worse.
Yeah. I know he's a bit of a dead shit as well. But I tell you this, I'll take Matt Thompson over Dan Gannay any day. There's
not much between them. They're both shit. They're both shit. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. They're reading the chat here. Hello to everybody in the chat. There is currently 19 people in the chat. It's good to see a good crowd on a beautiful Monday night. Hello, Bosky. SS Storm fan, Metallic Panther, Luke Melbourne Storm fan, King Julian, Jason Reader, Peripi's here. The chat's getting big and bigger as it goes on. You love to see it.
Amazing.
Hello to everybody in the chat. Hope you're all doing well. All right. Well, we got a bit to preview, and we're going to talk about a few things about the game and things that are not really about the game so much, but I want to start with the odds, Champa. The odds for Origin 1. Obviously, I'm a gambling man. I love to have a pun on the Origin. The odds, New South Wales, $1.60. Queensland at $2.30. What do you reckon? Are the odds right? They look fine to me.
Yeah, they look fine to me. You know, Queensland, they have a side now which looks to be put very contention into winning this series. They have a really good lineup, and I think the odds are right. Of course, they'll still have New South Wales as the favourites, but you know what, Queensland, I don't think they're far behind. They've got the talent now to match New South Wales, and I think the odds are good. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets a bit more tighter as the game
it will. I think it will. I think it will. As a gambling man, I think it will get tighter. I think it'll end up being probably $1.80 to $2 in favour of New South Wales. I think that might happen. I don't think Queensland will go any bigger price than $2.30. New South Wales won't get any shorter than $1.60. If anything, probably be like $1.80 to $2, $1.70 to $2.10, something like that. But I think the odds are fine. The odds should be good, and the chat's getting even bigger now. We've got 23 people watching now. It's good to see. If you guys can like the stream, it's much appreciated as well. If you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so. PayPal is in the description below, along with Super Chat, which is also active as well. But all right, let's get on to the next part of the preview, mate. The first part of it, really. We're going to talk about Queensland to start off with. What kind of coach will Billy Slater be for Queensland? All that, Chamber. It's his first ever coaching game in rugby league. Obviously in Origin, he hasn't coached at NRL level. He's just recently retired. What kind of coach will Billy the Kid Slater be, Champa? What do you reckon?
Well, starting off as a coach is never easy, and starting off a coach at a representative level like State of Origin is going to be very, very difficult. I do have faith in Billy Slater that he will put in a good performance as coach, but I reckon what he's going to tell his boys, I don't think he's going to try and do anything fancy like what the Bellamy's or the Bennetts or even the great State of Origin coaches of the past used to do, like the Mal Meningas and the Phil Gillards. I don't think he'll try and do anything special. What he'll probably try and tell them to do is just to play simple footy, just stay composed and just play simple footy and just do all the basics right. And Billy Slater, him being a fullback, he was one of the best attacking players of our time. So I reckon attack is going to be a key factor. And he's going to try and implement that into the Queensland side. But if I was going to describe him as a coach, probably someone who's just going to do the basics and a very attack-minded coach. And I can see a lot of good plays being run by Queensland and really testing the New South Wales defence. But I've got faith in Billy Slater that he'll be a good coach. And
so you reckon Billy Slater's going to be more of a attacking sort of coach where they'll try to score lots of tries?
I reckon that is the key. I reckon that is the key to score a lot of tries. Just trying to contend. Just try and confuse or pressure the New South Wales defence.
Well, I guess the other thing as well, which does help Billy Slater as coach for Queensland, he's got Cameron Smith in his ear, who's a future immortal. He's got Jonathan Thurston in his ear, future immortal. And I'm sure he's been on the phone to some other former coaches. I have no doubt. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind. Billy Slater has definitely rang Wayne Bennett to get some advice. I have absolutely no doubt. No one in the media's even talking about it. I reckon Slater would have called up Wayne and said, Wayne, my first time as a head coach of Queensland, give me some advice. How do I do this the best way? Wayne Bennett would have given him all the advice. I have no doubt. And I guess you got other guys there like Neil Henry, guys that have been there in the coaching gigs for a while now, that have been behind the scenes. Mal Meningas probably even had a chat with him as well. So I think Billy Slater will be fine. I think he'll be more of a defensive coach, Champ. I think he'll be a bit different. I think he'll be more defensive. Obviously, with the Queensland side, you don't need to attack too much because they have so much attack all over the park. But I think Slater will be more of a defensive coach. I think Origin's more defensive orientated. So I think he'll be really, really defensive. And yeah, look, I think the reason why he'd be so defensive as well is because he's named Ben Hunt at hooker. Now, if Ben Hunt wasn't named at hooker, then maybe it'd be a different story. And Ben Hunt's a great defender, especially in the middle. So I think Billy Slater's looking for more of that defensive sort of, mindset.
I think another thing that suits the defensive mind that Billy Slater might have is New South Wales last year. I think one of the games was scored the highest points in State of Origin history, and
yes,
that they scored a lot of points last year. So I think defense is going to be a big factor into containing players like James Tedesco and Nathan Cleary. And I could see your point of him being more defensive, but I still reckon that attack is something that they need, because in that Blues game where they scored a lot of points, I'm pretty sure that Queensland were very quiet in terms of scoring tries. So attack is going to be a real big thing on them factor as well as defense. It's going to be
No
real
doubt.
interesting.
No doubt. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of coach Billy Slater is for Queensland, and I guess we'll find out more about it on Wednesday night. But we'll move on to the next part of the preview now. And has Brad Fittler, has Freddie got it right with Staggs and Whiten as the Blues centers? I am not convinced by either of them. I don't think Staggs is even ready for Origin, and I don't think Jack Whiten is even an Origin center. I know he's played a few games there and done the job before, and Staggs is very up and down at club level. He has his good games, he has his quiet games, he's a bit up and down. Has Brad Fittler, Champa, got it right with the centers?
Well, with the lineup that he's named, I can't really think of anyone else from Staggs, Whiten, or even Crichton to really fill in the center position. Now, everybody wanted Staggs and Crichton. Believe me, I wanted it as well. I understand why he didn't go with that lineup. You know, you don't want to put a player who's so used to playing on one side and playing on the other side. But here's the thing. If you had to choose between Staggs or Crichton, I personally would have went Crichton. I mean, Staggs has had a great start to the year, but consistently, Crichton has been the better player for many years. And as for Whiten, well, it could be a missed opportunity playing him at center. I would have loved to see him handle the ball and sort of control the team in the halves, or even play as a lock and be a third half on the field. But look, I guess you don't want two debutants in their center position. I'm not too sure. But look, personally, if you had to choose between Staggs and Crichton, I would have been Crichton. I reckon that was his starting position. As for Whiten, well, missed opportunity playing him in the halves, but I think he can go fine in centers if he just defensively if he's all right, then I can see it working a bit. But I don't know. Has Freddie got it right?
No.
I'm gonna say no. I want Crichton in that starting position. He has to fit in that starting position somewhere.
I think they've fucked up with this. I think this is one of the biggest concerns for New South Wales going into game one. I think they've absolutely fucked this up with the centers. I think Staggs, again, a very, very good center, a quality player, very inconsistent. He's just come straight into the team here and got a spot. Now, look, I agree with what you said. I think Stephen Crichton would have been better off in the centers. Crichton and Whiten would have been better than Staggs and Whiten, but again, Brad Fittler's the coach. We're not. We're just on the outside, giving our opinion and having a look on the inside. I'm not so angry about Jack Whiten at center. I don't like it. I don't agree with it, but I understand it in a way because he's a big body and defensively, he has the job on Dane Gagai, and we all know what Dane Gagai is like in Origin. He's like a fucking different sort of. He's a different player when it comes to Origin. We all know how good he is, and I guess Brad Fittler and Greg Alexander wanted a big body on Gagai, someone that could maybe slow him down, and I guess that's why Whiten is playing center, which I don't have much of a problem with. I would have went in a different direction, but I understand it. Big body. As for Katoni Staggs, I'm not convinced with Katoni Staggs at club level. He's inconsistent. Had a very up and down start of the year, and he had one great game against Talakai, and then he's had a couple other games where he's been okay, and then they've ended up picking him. So it's going to be interesting to see how he goes, and the pressure will be on him because guess what? Staggs is up against Valentine Holmes this week on Origin night, and guess what? Valentine Holmes destroyed him back in round 3 up in Suncorp when the Cowboys put the Broncos on the sword. So mentally, has Katoni Staggs gotten over that game? And mentally, is Staggs going to be able to get over Val Holmes? Because on form, Val Holmes would be a top 3 center in the comp right now. So, yeah, really, it's going to be really, really interesting, bro.
Yeah, and another thing I want to point on is that in the center's position, we're really going to miss Trbojevic. We're really going to miss how he roams the field left and right. I don't see Stags or Whiten or even Crichton doing something like that. They're not Trebojevic, so that's a big thing we're going to miss. But what I do like about Stags and Whiten, it's two big bodies in the edge position. So in attack, I reckon that could be really well. I can see Stags or Whiten carrying 2 or 3 plays 10 minutes away from the try line. But I see what you mean in terms of Stags. Is he mentally ready after getting destroyed by Holmes?
Well, bro,
A few reps
look
earlier.
at this. Look at this. Round 3, Broncos, Cowboys, right? Val Holmes destroys Katoni Stags. Literally 2 weekends ago, we were at Penrith and Cowboys. Crichton destroyed Holmes. He was all over him. So you would have thought Crichton up against Holmes would have made more sense, but they went the other way. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes.
Yeah, I just hope that I hope that Crichton gets a lot of minutes. I don't want to see him come.
Too.
I don't want to see him come 15 minutes at the end of the game. I want to see him at least at least play the first half. He deserves it, man. The determination and effort that he puts in every week, he has earned that starting position. And unfortunately, he hasn't got it. But hell, if he puts on a good performance on Wednesday, then I can see him getting a starting position for game 2.
Last thing we'll say on the centers, I would have went with Stephen Crichton and Jack Whiten. What about yourself?
Yeah, I agree. Crichton and Whiten would have been my starting pair as well. Stags is good. I guess we would have had him as jersey for all that jersey 14. Look, if he has to be in that starting lineup, I would have had him jersey 14. But I think a lot of people know what I would have jersey 14, Nico Hines.
Yep. All right. Well, let's move on to the key matchup. Obviously, the big one here: Nathan Cleary versus Daly Cherry Evans, the 2 halfbacks. I think this is the main matchup, bro. I've had a good look at the matchups this afternoon. Obviously, you've got Tedesco versus Ponga. You've got Stags versus Holmes. You've got Cobbo versus To'o. Tino versus Haas. Paulo versus Papali. Cotter versus Yo and all that. But I believe the number one matchup, Nathan Cleary from New South Wales versus Daly Cherry Evans from Queensland, the 2 halfbacks. Mate, what a matchup this is going to be. New South Wales halfback versus the Queensland halfback. Great matchup here. Nathan Cleary versus DCE.
It is probably going to be the best matchup of the night. It's the old versus the young. It's arguably one of the best players in the world taking on a amazing veteran of our game. And Nathan Cleary, well, the resume speaks for himself. The past 3 years, he's been consistently one of the best halves. And Daly Cherry Evans, at the start of the year, with a Manly side who started very slow this season, he's been one of their best players, Cherry Evans. If there's one thing I know about Cherry Evans is if his mindset is good and he's not under pressure, I reckon he is a great director on the field. He will lead the side and he would be an amazing key component for Queensland's attack. However, there's one thing that worries me, and I've seen it last year in Origin. I've seen it mostly the year before in Origin. Sometimes when he's put under pressure, he goes very quiet, and I've seen it happen so many times. When the pressure's on him, he shuts out. And well, I don't specifically remember what Origin game it was, but when Ben Hunt came onto the field and he paired with Cherry Evans, mate, Ben Hunt literally took over the whole team, and Cherry Evans went quiet. So he has a problem, Cherry Evans, of doing that. As for Cleary, well,
that is true.
Mate, I don't remember the last time Cleary's really been quiet in a big game like this. So Cherry Evans has got his hands full, but I reckon this is going to be a good matchup.
I mean, yes, obviously Cherry Evans has gone missing in Origin before, but so has Nathan Cleary. I mean, all you got to do is go back to 2020, Game 3. The game's on the line. New South Wales have a whole set, minute to go, 2 more tackles up their sleeve. Cleary puts a grubber kick in goals. Why? Queensland can waste 3 seconds on the clock, and we all know what happened there. We all know in 2020, Cleary cost New South Wales the series.
That was hard. That was hard.
And I lost my mind, as everyone would know. Go back and watch it. It's probably one of the most popular videos on my channel. I went on a massive rant about Cleary. I called him a disease. Obviously, he's improved as a player and he's not a failure anymore, but back then he was. It was a bit of a joke back then. But look, I think whoever wins the matchup between these two probably wins the game. I think it's one of the most important matchups on the field. Obviously, the two halfbacks. If one of them's off and one of them's on, then I guess it'll come. Whoever wins this battle, bro, I reckon wins the game. In my opinion,
Exactly.
what I believe.
It's two of the most important positions on the field. So
Halfbacks,
it
yes.
definitely is. Whoever wins this battle wins the game.
Yep,
And
no doubt.
I think again, what it comes down to is who can control their own team better, because these two are basically the leaders on the field. They call the shots. They're the first ones receiving the ball, and they're the ones that are calling the plays. So whoever can get control of their team first, I reckon have a good chance of not only winning the battle between these two, but actually winning the game. But man, this is going to be so good.
Righto. Well, let's move on to the New South Wales players on debut. New South Wales have 3 players on debut. Are they ready? We've got Katoni Staggs on debut for New South Wales. We've got Stephen Crichton on debut for New South Wales and Ryan Madison. Everyone else has played Origin before, I believe. If I'm wrong, let me know in the chat. I'm pretty sure Stephen Crichton, Ryan Madison, and Staggs are all making their debut for New South Wales. Obviously, we'll start with Staggs. I don't believe he's ready for Origin, but Champa, what about you?
Look, he's riding on good form right now, but Origin is a totally different level. And let's be honest, he's only picked up great form start of the season this year. I mean, he was good last year, but no,
inconsistent still.
Inconsistent. I think that's what it comes down to, inconsistency, and that could have a key factor this Wednesday if he's not ready, even taking on a player like Holmes. So yeah, look.
Yes or no? Yes or no, brother? Staggs, is he ready or not? I'm going to say he's not ready. What do you reckon?
I'm going to say no. It's a unconfident no, because there's parts I think he's ready.
All right. Next player that's on debut, Stephen Crichton. Is he ready for Origin? I reckon he is. But what about yourself?
I reckon he is. I reckon he should have got in that starting position. He should have taken it off Staggs. And I think he's consistently a great center. So I think he is ready. And again, a missed opportunity when you have that Penrith backline starting. A big missed opportunity.
I agree, 100%. And Ryan Madison. I believe Ryan Madison is probably my favourite debut for New South Wales. The bloke's been through hell and back. We all thought Felice Kafusi ended his career back in 2021 round 2, where Kafusi came in with that elbow over the head, and Ryan Madison's form for a long time was dog shit. He's moved into lock, and he's pretty much changed the way he plays. He's reborn Madison. I reckon he is definitely ready for Origin. I reckon this is an awesome debut.
Oh, I'm really excited to see how Ryan Madison goes on the field. I think he is ready. Whether they want to play him in lock or they want to move him back out to the edge in second row, I reckon, the form that he's in right now, I reckon it's a great selection and a smart choice from Freddie. I reckon,
Yes.
Smart
decision.
I reckon he's going to do some big things in Origin. And look, you got Regal Campbell-Gillard, you got Junior Paulo in the side, mate. He's got some familiar faces around him.
Mate, I think Ryan Madison will come on after about half an hour and just. Are we going to play a bit of lock, a bit of ball playing?
Yeah, I can see it happening. Terrorize the Queensland defense.
All right, let's go to Queensland for a minute. Queensland have 4 players on debut. Are they ready? They have got Selwyn Cobbo on debut. They have got Ruben Cotter, Paddy Carrigan, and Jeremiah Nanai all on debut for Queensland. We'll start with Selwyn Cobbo on the wing. I'm in love with him. I think he's a phenomenal winger. I think he's the next big thing. I think the future of him is so bright. Is Selwyn Cobbo ready for Origin, Champa?
Yes, I think he's ready. And I know he's young, and it kind of contradicts what I said about Staggs. But consistently at the start of the he's been amazing. He's been one of the greatest players at Brisbane. Him on the wing would be amazing. And I know a lot of people would have went Oates, but come on, I can't look past Cobbo. The attack that this kid has is amazing. He's one of the best wingers in the game right now, and I reckon he is going to do well for Queensland. I think he's ready.
Sorry to be negative, but I don't believe he's ready at all.
Ooh.
They are taking a gamble here. A lot of people are comparing his debut to Greg Inglis, Israel Folau back in the day, and that's not fair on Selwyn Cobbo at all. Listen, the bloke's played about 19 games. You mean to tell me 19 games and what, 7 or 8 great games, that's going to get you an Origin jersey? Really? I don't know about that, man. I really don't know. I think Corey Oates was hard done by here. I think the Hammer not starting was a little bit hard done by here. I think they're two players right there. Kyle Fell was a chance, but he was ruled out due to an injury. He's out for another 4 weeks or so. So, look, I love Selwyn Cobbo. I think he will be an Origin player for the next 15 years, but I don't think he's ready. I would have went Corey Oates for game 1. I would have just had that experience. Someone who's been there and done it before. That's what I would have done. I hope I'm proven wrong. I hope Cobbo has a blinder on Wednesday night. As a New South Wales fan, I hope he goes fucking dog shit. But I don't believe he's ready, bro. I just don't believe he's ready for this level.
Yeah, I can understand what you mean by that. I think one of the reasons that they chose Cobbo is that I think they want some sort of young, electric sort of how do I say this? Just
Xavier Coates is I thought that was Xavier Coates.
Well, it's also Cobbo as well. You want both sides. I mean, you're defending Tupou and Toto. I reckon you need to match it in terms of extraordinary footy. So
they can't defend. They can't defend. They can't defend. They always come in. I mean, bro, you watch the Melbourne Storm games. Yes. Every time they score a try on that wing, Coates is the one that comes in. Cobbo defensively still gets called out a lot as well. Mate, I reckon Brian Toto and Daniel Tupou are laughing. They're going to have a field day.
Well, I think this is when it comes down to Billy Slater. Yeah, telling these wingers, you got to stay on your wing and you cannot come in. Him playing fullback, he played alongside wingers. He would know what to tell them. I reckon Slater.
All right, let's move on to the next one because I don't want to spend too long on Queensland because fuck them. Ruben Cotter, jersey 13, playing lock. I think he is ready. I think Cotter's ready.
Before I watched Tigers Cowboys and before I went to Panthers Cowboys 2 weeks ago, I would have said no. I would have said he's not ready until I had a better look at Ruben Cotter, and I thought, holy shit, this kid is fucking amazing. Seriously, the way he runs and the pace and speed that he has on him for a forward is unbelievable. I just go back to that try that he scored against us when he just took the ball up. He ran through our defensive and got around Toa like he was nothing. Oh man, him at lock being a ball playing player. Hey, I reckon he's a dark horse player. I reckon not much people are putting the attention on him. He can terrorize our defense. I really think he can.
I think we can both agree here. Ruben Cotter is ready for Origin, and as a Cowboys fan, he's a weapon. I think Ruben Cotter's ready, and I think he'll have a great game on Wednesday night.
I reckon he will have a great game on Wednesday night. Maybe scoring a similar try like he did against us, man.
Oh, that was a good try. Maybe. All right. Also on debut, Paddy Carrigan off the bench. I think Carrigan deserves his chance. I think he deserves to be here, and I think he is ready as well.
Look, it's a safe option that Queensland does right here. Carrigan does all the basics. I haven't spent much time focusing on him as I do with other players, but from the games I have watched him, he does all the basics right. So I think that he's a great selection for Queensland. Is he ready for Origin? I mean, Origin's a big level, and I really don't have much high raps on the play. But look, I'm just going to say no. I would have went.
Really?
I'm going to say no. It is a big level for a player like Harrigan. So, but hey, if he can prove me wrong, then well, I'd love to see him.
I think he is ready. I mean, for the Broncos, he's been probably in their top 3 best players every week. Defensively, he's a workhorse, and the game against Manly at Magic Round, fuck me, the bloke's ready to go. He's ready for this level, I believe.
Hmm.
And the last player by making a debut, Jeremiah Nanai, probably one of the most exciting young back rows in the comp, a bit like Cobbo on the wing, so exciting. Nanai, is he ready for Origin? Guess what? I don't think he is.
Ooh, I would have said yes.
I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm a fucking Cowboys fan. And I don't believe Jeremiah Nanai is ready for Origin. No way.
Ooh. The reason why I think he is ready for Origin, similar to Cobbo, he brings that electrifying footy to the game, and him being as a forward. I mean, I've seen him play his games. Cowboys. He has so much mobility and agility for a second rower. I reckon that's a bit of a steal for Queensland, having him in the side. Well, I'd like to hear why you think that he isn't ready.
Well, if you have a look at it, so if you have a look at Jeremiah Nanai, a bit like Selwyn Cobbo, has been probably in the Cowboys' best players all year. Defensively, still has a few issues. Attacking wise, very, very good. I just don't know if you're gonna throw a 19-year-old kid who's only played a handful of games. Nanai hasn't even played 20 games yet, I don't believe. I think he's only played about probably around the same as Selwyn Cobbo. That there is no way in the world that I would have selected Jeremiah Nanai. He's not ready.
Yeah, well, they are going with risk for someone with very little experience in first grade, but with the depth that Queensland have, it's not as big as New South Wales. So I think they are taking risk here, and if you're going to choose players, I reckon choose players that are in great form. I think that's the motive that Queensland have. Do you think he should have had a similar route like someone like Suwali and just complete, like as you say, traineeship and just get a feel of what the Origin camp is?
Put him in the Origin camp. Let him do his apprenticeship, traineeship, whatever. Campbell Graham did it for New South Wales. A few players have done it as well. Victor Radley did it a couple of years ago. I don't believe that Jeremiah Nanai is ready for this level. And I'm just reading the chat. Someone's telling me that Carrigan's already played Origin from 2020. I'm on the 2020 team right here, and Carrigan's not even in the 17th of either game. I don't believe Carrigan's made his debut.
I don't think so, unless he was never in reserves. But...
Unless you can find me the game where he actually came on the field and played minutes. I know he's been a part of the squads, but I don't believe he's ever played in the actual game. I haven't found it anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think so. I've never heard him make his debut. So maybe
unless he did once, but I don't recall him making his debut.
Exactly, but
anyway. But yeah, look, it's gonna be interesting to see how they go with Nanai. I don't know how many minutes he'll play, but I wouldn't have picked him. I wouldn't have done it.
Oh, I think he's all right. I think with the form that he's in right now, you bring that into Origin, I reckon he'll be fantastic.
All right, well, we'll see what happens. Will someone throw a punch, Champa? It's Origin. We want to see a fight. There's a lot of dirty, thirsty people that watch Origin. They want to see a punch. For fuck's sake, will someone throw a punch Wednesday night?
Well, if it's not someone on the field, it'll definitely be someone in the crowd. I can tell you that right now.
No fucking doubt.
If on the field, well, Payne Haas and Tino Fasula-Malawi, they've had a history between each other, so I wouldn't be surprised if they throw some punches. Is there any grubs on any side? Anyone who's considered a real grubby player?
Yep, Felice Kafusi and Tarek Sims.
Oh yes, yeah. All it takes is just one dirty hit and someone.
Pino versus Haas that they hype up every fucking year. It's not going to happen. I'm going to make a prediction right now. On Wednesday night, State of Origin Game 1, 2022 at ANZ Stadium, someone's going to throw a punch. And I'm going to predict this. Felice Kafusi is going to do a dirty, late, cheap shot on someone, maybe on Nathan Cleary. Sims is going to come in. Sims is going to throw a punch. Sims is going to punch Kafusi and get binned.
No. That's a good prediction. You want to hear my prediction?
Go on.
I think is going to be between the centers Gagai and Whiteson. Now,
Yeah,
Gagai,
mate. Yeah, okay. Yep.
Gagai, I think he's a bit of a grub sometimes. He can be a bit of a
Can be.
dirty player or just a loudmouth. And Crichton, well, I've seen him get in a few biffs in his career before. So
Yep.
all it takes is for for Crichton, Whiteson, sorry. All it takes is for Whiteson to just, let's say, drag Gagai over the sideline. Gagai gets annoyed. He throws the ball at Whiteson, and they start pushing, shoving. All it takes is just it's for someone to say one thing, and it's on. Oh, it's on.
Someone please. It's Origin. It's State of Origin. It's state versus state. Mate versus mate. It's the pinnacle of rugby league. Someone please throw a punch. I don't care who does it. Someone throw a punch. It's Origin.
Right. This will take it back. What if they're in the scrum and someone screams cattle dog?
Oh, please.
They start throwing at him.
And I know there's a lot of Karens and soft cocks out there saying, oh, don't throw a punch. It's not good for the game. Fuck you. This is Origin. Origin's different. This is a different level. Origin, there's been punches in Origin every year back in the going all the way back to the late 2000s. Bring back the biff. Someone throw a fucking punch.
Someone throw a punch, man. It's got to happen. It has to happen.
All right. Here we go. Next part. Where will the game be won and lost? So we'll start with New South Wales, Champa. Where will the game be won and lost for New South Wales on Wednesday night?
Well, I see where they're winning. Do you mean like what part of the game would they win? Like a tackle defense? You reckon?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Yeah.
I think where they win is their spine. I reckon their spine is very strong. Tedesco, Luai, Cleary, Cook, they've had so much experience together in Origin, and I reckon that's going to be their key. So I am going to go their lock. I mean, their spine. Where they lose, I reckon it is their backline. It's a very different backline from what we've seen many, many times in Origin. There's no Latrell. There's no Trbojevic. And personally, there's no Adokar, which I feel like he should have been in the team. There's To'o. I mean, not To'o. Tupou, someone who's, flustered around in Origin, a few years. And Whiteson, who's, controversial being in that starting position. And Staggs, a debutant. So I reckon it's not going to be the same backline as we used to. So I reckon that's where we lose.
Yeah. I think where the game will be won for New South Wales will be through the forwards. I think that forward pack can lay a really good platform for them. I think Haas and Paulo will lay a good platform. Yo in the middle as well. And I think the halves for New South Wales, I think Nathan Cleary can kick New South Wales to victory. What I do think that they could lose and what may hurt New South Wales, like you said, the centers, the outside backs, can they handle Queensland's speed? Can New South Wales back row, is Cam Murray and Sims the right back row as well? Does Tarek Sims still have what it takes to be a back rower? Does Cameron Murray have the same impact as he does at club level for Souths, but from lock to back row? I'm not sure. I do worry about that as well. So I think if New South Wales win, it'll be on the back of the forward pack and the kicking game. If they, if they're going to lose this game, it'll be on the back of just the back line and I think the back rows if they have enough speed. And I think where the game will be won and lost for Queensland. Queensland are so good at moving the ball, and Queensland don't mind playing sideways football. They don't mind going wide and spreading it and bringing players on the inside and getting wingers like Cobbo and Coates will be coming in for a lot of early hit-ups as well. So just keep an eye on that. And Val Holmes is apparently going to have a bit of a roaming role like he does at the Cowboys. And we all know Origin last year, Turbo and Trell had a role for the middle. Val Holmes is going to have a very similar role for Queensland. So if Queensland win, I think it'll be on the back of their line speed in defense, and I think it'll be on the back of they love to spread the ball as well. So I expect Queensland to do that a lot because if Queensland think they're going to win this game through the middle, and if they think they're going to outplay New South Wales through their kicking game, they're dreaming. I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. But I think the benches are quite even. I think the forward packs probably goes towards New South Wales. I think the halves go to New South Wales. I think the back line probably goes to Queensland. So a lot of even matchups here on Wednesday night. But Champa, I want to know, Wednesday night, Origin 1. Who will score the first try? This is a tough prediction because Origin, anything can happen. Anyone could score the first try.
Exactly.
Mate, Origin 1, I'm getting the odds in front of me right now. Mate, who's going to score the first try Wednesday night?
Well, it hurts me to say this, but I reckon it's going to be Gagai off maybe an intercept, and he'll score that first try. I look back to that full field try he scored many years ago. I reckon Gagai will get that first try scoring. Yeah, he's a try scoring machine in Origin.
Well, Dane Gagai to score the first try on Wednesday night is currently paying $17 on Sportsbet. So if you've got a spare $10, you might want to chuck a tenner on him. That's not a bad bet.
I might, since he's told me that, I might chuck some money on that.
I'm going to give you my first try scorer prediction for Origin 1. Now, like I said before, I do worry about the wingers, Coates and Cobbo. I do love coming in a lot. Defensively, Queensland are going to be tested out wide a lot. But I'm going to go a little bit. It's going to sound boring, but my prediction for first try score Wednesday night, I'm going to go with Daniel Tupou.
Ooh. How do you see that try forming?
Well, I think what's going to happen is New South Wales are going to go to the left-hand side. I think Jerome Luai is going to get the ball at first receiver. There's going to be a decoy run from Cameron Murray, if he plays left side, or Sims, whoever. And then it's going to go to Tedesco. Tedesco is such a threat. He's going to draw defenders in, and Gagai will come in, and I reckon Cobbo will be outdone 3-on-2. Tedesco will throw a 3-on-2 cutout ball, and Tupou will go in the corner. Cobbo will get jammed in. Tupou will score first on Wednesday night. I know it's a bit boring because it's a winger, but I'm going Tupou first try scorer.
How much is he paying?
Daniel Tupou to score the first try is paying $9.
Oh, that's safe.
So it is short, but I think Tupou can score first on Wednesday night. Now, score prediction. Okay, this is it. The State of Origin, Game 1 for 2022 at Stadium Australia, Wednesday night, 8:10 p.m. kickoff. All out CHAMPA. Who wins the game? Give me your score prediction on Wednesday night.
New South Wales win this one. I'm confident they're going to win this game. They've got better players all over the park. And a score prediction, it's going to be 13 plus. High scoring match, 24-10.
Wow, really?
That's what I'm going with.
I'm going something a little bit different. I believe New South Wales will win. I believe there will be nothing in it. Then I think this will be a really close game, and I reckon it will be a low-scoring game. I don't see many points. It's Origin. Both teams are defensive-orientated. I'm going to go New South Wales to beat Queensland. I'm going to go New South Wales to win 14-10. Low-scoring game. Like I said, first try scorer, Daniel Tupou. And anytime try scorer, I like Brian on the wing as well.
Well, you want an anytime try scorer? How about this? You want an anytime try scorer? Isaiah Yeo. I reckon he might sneak in for a try. He's probably paying big money, but you know all it takes is just a nice short ball out to Yeo, and he just finds the line and scores.
Isaiah Yeo to score try anytime is paying $8.75.
Mate, jump on it.
Not bad. Last thing on Origin, mate. Before we go, man of the match. Who you got for man of the match Wednesday night?
I'm going to go James Tedesco. I reckon he's going to have a blinder of a match. He'll be safe in the fullback position. And attack, he'll be amazing. And I reckon he's going to be a real threat for Queensland's defence. So I'm going James Tedesco.
You literally stole who I was going to go. I was also going to go James Tedesco Wednesday night. I think James Tedesco will be the man of the match as well. I think New South Wales will win by 14-10. It's going to be a great game. So, Champa, before we go, give us your prediction one more time, and I'll give everyone mine.
All right. Well, I did say a high-scoring match, 24-10. 24-10 New South Wales win this one. My first try scorer, I am going Dane Gagai off an intercept. And my man of the match is James Tedesco.
Yeah, I'm going New South Wales to win 14 points to 10. First try scorer, Daniel Tupou. Anytime try scorer, Brian Toto. And man of the match, also James Tedesco.
How good.
But,
How
CHAMPA, bro, thanks for coming on for the Origin 1 preview. It's been awesome.
Mate, thank you for having me on. I wanted to speak about Origin because I am excited for a great game on Wednesday. And I know everyone watching this live stream is excited as well, as are you, Nick. So thank you for having me on. And, mate,
No worries, brother.
let's
Thanks
get
for
it
coming
on.
I can't wait for Origin. We're less than 48 hours away now. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And obviously, the podcast was meant to be Wednesday night, but it will now be probably Thursday night. So we'll have to talk about the podcast later off air. And all right, guys, we're getting out of here. Hope you all have a fantastic night. I don't know what's going on with Champ's connection. There he is. He's all good. As always, guys, like and subscribe. Good luck to New South Wales and Queensland. I hope you all enjoy the game Wednesday night. It's going to be fantastic. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the NRL round 14 tips. But thanks to All Out Champa for coming on. Everyone go and subscribe to All Out Champa as well. His YouTube channel is in the description just below. And I'm out of here, guys. Looking forward to Origin. Not far away now, but hope you all have a fantastic night. Like, subscribe, do all that good shit. And see you guys in the next one.